Okay, we should be live. Um, Welcome to what is our 39th testing call since the start of Forward 4.4. Um, I guess the main thing I had on the agenda was just if there's anything on Sepolia we want to discuss, but feels like we've covered that on ACDC last week. Blob expiry, have we seen that already on Gordy? And then anything to figure out for Holsky? And if there's other things people want to talk about, we can obviously cover those. Um, but I guess, yeah, starting with Blob expiry, does someone know when we will see the blobs expire on Gordy?
I think it was Wednesday, but let me just confirm.
Wednesday in 2 days, right? I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
But I could be wrong with the date.
Yeah.
Fork was on the 17th, right?
I am not sure.
If it was the 17th, then 18 days was yesterday. So we should be seeing Blob expiry already.
You mean, sorry, the fork was the 17th.
Yeah, the curly fork.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just double check.
It was the 17th BTC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should have been expiring as of yesterday.
Is there a way we can check?
Yeah, we can just query one of the older blobs.
Right.
And then we should be good to go. I can just do that now.
Awesome.
But wouldn't it be syncing where we would really want to make sure things are working correctly? Like if I'm bootstrapping a new node now, I want to make sure that I'm downloading the blobs that haven't expired yet.
Yeah, we'd have to start syncing. You're right, but we can have that done before ACT this week.
Yeah, that would be great.
I guess just sync one of every EL and CL, every CL. I guess the EL doesn't care.
Is anyone planning to run a non-pruning CL for mainnet? Does that exist for blobs?
Does any client team have a non-pruning option?
Yes, I was in mute.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember one. I remember we implemented a flag for non-pruning or not pruning blobs, but I need to get it back. I don't recall exactly.
Yeah, I remember Lighthouse had one too.
Lodestar is implementing a non-pruning flag.
Great.
And Prism can have a longer pruning window, but we're not testing that right now either.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not a high likelihood, but it would be good if we knew the blobs are being saved by a trustworthy party.
Yeah.
Because eventually I think we need to have a better picture about how are we going to save this for the future and share with people who are interested in getting up to date with historical blobs.
Do we know what does blob scan keep the blobs forever, or did they just keep them for the rolling period?
Last I heard, they keep them forever, but we should definitely confirm that. We're also storing all the blobs on our side. Zatu just tosses it in a database, so worst case, we can pull them out.
Okay.
Okay, sounds like we have the bases covered.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. So yeah, if we can have some synced nodes by Thursday, that'll be a valuable data point. Anything else on the expiry?
Justin pinged me with what seems to be a memory issue on Prism that cropped up around the time we started expiring. So we're looking into that today.
Okay. Nice.
We had the blob the blob spam test from the Nethermind team on Friday that caused a lot of chaos.
Yes. And yeah. Marcin, do you have updates on that?
Yes, I was like spamming with a lot of one blob transactions, like about 35,000 transactions, and some clients didn't handle it well, but they found the reasons, and seems like they are fixed, because today I'm spamming again, and as far we have no issues. So I will try to break it again, but for now we are working fine.
Oh, that's really good news.
Yeah, so for us, we had a OOM. Basically, whenever we created a block, we pulled up a bunch of transactions from the transaction pool and also pulled up the blobs. And instead of dereferencing them, we kept them in memory somehow. And then so whenever our node created a block, we would pull up a bunch of blob transactions and just like allocate like 2.5 gigabytes of memory within a very short time. And yeah, then at some point just OOM'd, and then yeah, the node shut down. But that's fixed now.
But the root cause was just that earlier all the spamming was with 6 blobs all the time, and now we did it with sometimes 1 and sometimes 6. Or what actually changed, because we've been blob spamming this whole time.
It was just a lot of transactions, I think, for us. A lot more transactions than before. Just the sheer number of transactions, not the blob, the number of blobs.
Yeah, so what changed, like there are different implementation in clients. So in Nethermind, we have a cap of amount of transactions. We are capping it to 16,000. So like the worst case for Nethermind is 16,000 of 6 blob transactions, and I was always doing it this way, like to check how Nethermind is behaving in worst case scenario. And like a few days ago, I started sending more one blob transaction, because like if there was only 6 blob transactions, it was like in Nethermind we have 16K, and in Gav it was about 14,000, and it was just they are capping it by size, like to 10 gigabytes from what I know. So it was lower amount than in Nethermind. And when I started sending one blob transactions, then in Nethermind it was still 16,000, but in Gav it was like 50,000 and more. So amount was way higher, and it is why we catched it at this point and not earlier.
Okay. Oh, hi, Barnabas. Anything else on the spamming?
Yes, I'm continuing the spamming. Like for now, DevNet looks fine. All these all clients are working fine. I'm planning to test some replacement and send some invalid transactions. So I will keep trying to break it, but like for now, it's all working fine.
I just tested on one of the nodes for expiry, and it seems to work fine as well. Of course, we'd still do the sync tests, but at least it looks like Teku has expired the blobs as expected. For this epoch, I just ran this request. And to make sure that the request itself is valid, here's a newer epoch and a newer request. So the older one doesn't give me any data, and the newer one gives me data.
Nice. And yeah, Barnabas, we are spamming again.
How many blobs per slot? What is the target? Oh. Because I see most of these slots are empty.
Yes, but it's like totally different scale than earlier. And today, as far I sent about 100,000 one block transactions, and now I will try to send replacement, like the same transaction with higher prices. So the amount will not be higher today, but I will send like transactions for the same address and nonces again with higher prices.
Yeah, currently it looks all fine. Looks a lot better than last week, at least.
Also, just want to mention if someone has validators on Holski, please update them.
Yes. Yeah. Do we have a sense for how many validators are from non-client teams and like people we have no idea on Holski? I guess permissionless validators.
Yeah, it's a small minority. It's only a few thousand.
Got it.
I think we know the numbers to like 1.46 million, and then there's another 80, 90,000 that came on later.
Okay.
But most of them requested ETH directly, so
Okay.
already reached out to them to ask to update.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and we are also going to do some deposits and exits today and tomorrow,
Nice.
and hopefully it's going to be like 5,000, and then hopefully we're going to see the churn limit being activated on Holski in real time when the fork happens.
Oh yeah, maybe worth talking on that a little bit more. Initially, we wanted to see the churn limit on Gurley. The issue is that someone started exiting in mass, so that negated a lot of the deposits we made. And the more exits that are deposited, the longer it would take for us to hit that number where we churn. I think we're still about 2,000 validators away, but there's about 5,500 deposits and 9,800 exits already. So we're going to continue trying, but at this point, it looks like we'll get an answer way faster from Holski than we ever would from Gurley.
Got it. Anything else, I guess, on, so we sort of covered a bit of each of Sepolia, the blobs, and Holski, but is there anything else on the testnet forks people want to bring up? Okay, more confirmations as well that the Gordy blobs are expired.
Maybe we can discuss whether we want to do a mainnet shadow fork with the final mainnet release candidates and the timeline for that.
We definitely should, yeah.
I guess we expect to discuss timeline for mainnet fork on Thursday.
Yeah, I think assuming all the issues from the spammer are fixed and like EL clients are not having any issues, yeah, we should be good to go. And then yeah, the other thing, like Perry mentioned earlier, having synced a couple of new nodes on Gordy to make sure that sync still works post expiry. I think those are the two main things. And yeah, then yeah, on Thursday we can agree to a date. As soon as we have the releases come out, we should run a shadow fork. Which
one small question about the syncs. Do the CL teams want me to just try checkpoint sync, or should I also try Genesis sync? Because Genesis sync will take substantially longer.
Genesis sync will require you to enable some flags of like enable non-checkpoint syncing or whatever.
Yeah,
for Teku, yes.
For Teku and Lighthouse also, Lodestar also. So
yeah.
Can we do checkpoint sync with a checkpoint with expired blobs? Like, will that be true? That'll be true by
we'd
default.
use like the latest.
Yeah,
we'd use the latest checkpoint.
Yeah.
Which would be the default we recommend to people anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Genesis sync right now would fail. Yeah, Genesis sync would technically fail because unless someone has an archive node on Gurley, CL archive.
There probably are some. I would assume so, at least. We could give it a try, actually.
Yeah, might as well.
Mm. So then if we agree on a date on Thursday, then I expect client releases to be around on 15th, 16th of February. And then maybe we can plan a shadow fork.
Yeah, on the week of the 19th. Yeah, I think that probably makes sense. Let's obviously confirm that on Thursday's call, but I think that's reasonable. Yeah.
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 Because we do need some preparation for that and thinking some mainnet nodes, and that will take some time, especially for archive nodes.
Okay, yeah, then let's from the DevOps and be ready for the 20th. Like it's easier. It's better to be ready for the 20th on the DevOps side and then push it back because whatever we're missing a client release than it is to have everything ready and then be waiting for nodes to sync.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then the 20th also means we would have like a testing call the day right before, so we can discuss any sort of final last minute issues right before the shadow fork. So yeah, that seems reasonable.
So related to syncing, I think someone briefly mentioned whether we've tried checkpoint syncing when blobs are expired. So how it would work is, like, since blobs don't expire for 4,096 epochs, and we always checkpoint sync from a finalized checkpoint, that would mean the chain would have had to not finalize for 4,096 epochs. And that's like around what the weak subjectivity period is, which is like the period where it's safe to checkpoint sync. So when we were talking about this like a few months ago, we were talking about how clients would, in this scenario, have to support checkpoint sync from a non-finalized checkpoint, and it would have to be within the blob expiration period. And so it's actually like a pretty tricky thing to do, but it's an unlikely scenario.
So in Lighthouse, we're still working on getting that working. Just so everyone knows.
I think it's not just Lighthouse. Last week we experienced a non-finality event on DevNet 12, and I tried to sync a Lodestar node, and I also had to sync off of another node, not off of checkpoint sync. And I think that was related to this too.
No, that was related to checkpoint C not serving it a non-finalized state. It's not to do with expiry.
Yeah, because this scenario would only happen if the chain hasn't finalized for like 3 weeks, or a bit more, I think. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Anything else people feel we should cover? Okay, last chance. If not, yeah, let's wrap up. And yeah, let's discuss mainnet dates hopefully on ACDC this week. And assuming that moves forward, aim for a shadow fork just over 2 weeks from now. But yeah, thanks everyone.
All right. See you on Thursday.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.